So have you criticized yourself? Have you said, I'm not good enough? I can't make it. I don't believe I deserve that promotion. We may all have done that. And I think of Donald Tolson's recent speech when he spoke to us, and he had a teacher who said, I believe in you. He had a stutter. And she kept insisting that he get up in front of the room and speak. And he did. And over time, his stutter went away. He got that courage. And he always had those words in his head. Well, I grew up in Europe and I went to an international school and we started every day with French. I really didn't have French friends. I really hadn't connected with the community, and French was a challenge for me. But it was part of Switzerland and they spoke French there. And my French teacher, they have a different culture. She said, I want everybody to get up in front of the room and speak. But you get to choose what you speak about. And I thought, I've got to pick something easy. So I looked around, she said, take a picture and speak about it. And I found a picture of breakfast. I thought, I can handle breakfast. You know, in the different things there, particularly in the Switzerland, there was these fried potatoes, they were called rösti. I thought, oh, I know that word, I know this word. Well, I came in with that. And this teacher looked at what I had, and my friend next to me, he brought some kind of picture that Michelangelo had painted, had a deeper meaning and was going to really express it. And I was the age of Gabby. And that's why I get so passionate about somebody young like that being out there and learning public speaking. And she looked at me and she said, in French, I can't believe the mentality of the people in this classroom. Le travail intellectuel n'est jamais pour toi. Intellectual work will never be for you. And she threw that down at me. And I just remember how that impacted me to where I was terrified of getting up in front of a room, terrified of public speaking, and always thought I was less. That was my inner critic. Now, what's your inner critic? And it can put a barrier, just like somebody has a barrier with acrophobia of heights or claustrophobia, a barrier for me of public speaking. But I remember one day when I was with my mom, who had always been really excited about motivational speakers. And she handed me this card. She said, this is something maybe you should do. This was 30 some odd years ago. It was a Tony Robbins workshop. And back then he'd franchised. He had these little workshops and people had bought into it and they were selling. I went to there with my mom and I learned how to break boards. I learned how to walk on fire. I broke through and I got around a community that believed in me. And I could see that inner voice changing. And the main thing is to recognize it, to realize it's there and how it can destroy you from the inside out. And where you can take whatever somebody says to you and give value to it. But when I look back and I think, you know, it could be a curse or a blessing. And as they say in the Course in Miracles, all your negative thoughts, that's the devil. That's the devil. So to overpower that and to recognize it and then replace it. And then start competing against yourself. And look back, I'm better than I was yesterday. And not necessarily look out at other people and compare yourself and how I'm less, but I'm better. I'm better than I was yesterday. So take that to heart. Think about that inner voice. Again, the first step is recognize it. See that it's there. See that little words are saying, no, I'm not good enough. No, I'm not good to get that next promotion. But replace it. Yes, I know I can. I think of somebody like Mary Lou Retton who got a 10 in gymnastics. And she said, I want a 10. I got a 10. She spoke it. She believed it. She worked it. And everything came together for that. So for me, when I look back and I think, wow, I was locked in a cage of fear where I don't really feel that I could escape, then the steps out are finding that community, finding Toastmasters, finding Tony Robbins workshops, and finding the forum. And when I went to the forum, which was another workshop, which looks at what it is to be a human being, I looked at the possibility of having the person, my best friend in my life. I wrote that down as my goal. And look who I met right here, Wendy. She greeted me at the door of this workshop. That's the truth. But the fact is, your inner voice can completely change your life. So don't compete against others, compete against yourself. Celebrate every little success that you make from day to day. Look yourself in the mirror in the morning and say, I love you. Do that 2 or 3 times and realize the power of change. Because you really can't change what other people think of you. You can't. You can jump through hoops. I read your book. You literally jumped through hoops and it didn't change. But you can change who you are. And I think back when you're younger, you wanted to change the world. But as you get older, you realize if you want the world to change yourself, and then the world will change. So for me, I'm asking you to take a look at that inner voice and then work on it and realize you have the power to create anything in your life, the power to completely transform your life and just to love life and love yourself. Back to you.